Russia launched its largest air attack on Ukraine since the start of the war, the Ukrainian Air Force said on Sunday, counting more than 800 drones and 13 missiles fired at targets across the country. Authorities said it killed at least 4, including 1 baby, and set fire to the seat of government. Ukraine's Prime Minister Yulia Sviridenko said it was the first time the main government building in central Kyiv had been hit. In a video said to be recorded from the inside of the damaged building, she said it showed Russia was not seeking peace and called on allies to help beef up Ukraine's air defences. Elsewhere in the city, residential blocks were also struck, where officials said an infant's body was pulled out from under the rubble. Russia's defense ministry said it had carried out strikes on Ukraine's military-industrial complex and transport infrastructure, according to the TASS news agency. Both sides deny targeting civilians. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said he spoke with French President Emmanuel Macron after the attack, coordinating diplomatic efforts and next steps. European allies have vowed to stand by Ukraine politically and militarily, but concrete offers of assistance are still being discussed. Russian President Vladimir Putin has pushed back on calls for a ceasefire, emboldened by strengthening relations with China. US President Donald Trump said on Sunday he is ready to move to a second stage of sanctioning Russia, but stopped short of saying what that entails. Trump has expressed growing frustration with Moscow, but despite repeatedly threatening further sanctions, he has so far resisted making the move. Also on Sunday, Ukraine's military said it launched an overnight attack on the Druzhba oil pipeline in Russia's Bryansk region, saying it inflicted comprehensive fire damage. Reuters could not independently verify the report. It confirmed the location of the video released by Drone Forces Commander Robert Brovdy, but could not verify the date it was recorded. Kyiv says its strikes on Russian energy targets are in response to Moscow's continued attacks on Ukraine and aim to undermine its overall war effort. There was no immediate comment from Russia.
Problems with a cable were the likely cause of a deadly funicular accident in Lisbon, according to a preliminary report. The yellow tram-like carriage hurtled down a steep hillside in Portugal's capital last week, killing at least 16 people and injuring another 22 when it crashed into a building. Portuguese Prime Minister Luís Montenegro described the tragedy as one of the greatest in its recent history. The fatalities included 11 tourists visiting Lisbon. Sudhir Agarwal, a tourist from the U.S., spoke to Reuters in the city on Friday.
Accidents do happen. I mean, nobody plans it. It could be anywhere. It could be New York, for that matter. That is, I'm not going to stop going to New York.
Portugal's Office for Air and Rail Accident Investigations released its first investigative report into the crash on Saturday. The report said the cabins had traveled about 20 feet when they, quote, suddenly lost the balancing force provided by the cable connecting them. The report also added that efforts to pull the brakes inside the cabin that ultimately accelerated downhill had no effect. An examination of the wreckage showed that the connecting cable had given way at the attachment point to the cabin at the top of the hill. A final report is forthcoming.
Japan's ruling party lawmakers prepared bids to replace outgoing leader Shigeru Ishiba on Monday. Ishiba announced the end of his brief time as Prime Minister on Sunday. He said he was taking responsibility for elections where his coalition lost its majority in both houses of Parliament. They were hit as voters showed their anger at rising living costs. Ishiba instructed his Liberal Democratic Party to hold an emergency leadership election. A source said the party plans to hold the vote on October 4th. Markets were roiled by the political uncertainty and the possibility successors may ramp up government spending. Japan's yen sank and super long-term bond yields scaled record highs after Ishiba's resignation. Stocks then surged at the open on Monday. Investors noted speculation policies favoured by potential successors may strain the world's most indebted advanced economy. The frontrunners are Senai Takaichi, who would become Japan's first female prime minister, and Shinjiro Koizumi, who at 44 would be the youngest leader in the modern era. Neither has yet formally announced their candidacy. Takaichi would be notable for markets as she stands out for her opposition to the Bank of Japan's interest rate hikes. She's also called to raise spending to boost the fragile economy.
We are going with dozens of boats that represents more boats that ever attempted to break the siege of Gaza combined, with more people that ever attempted to break the siege combined, and we are going there in a humanitarian solidarity, non-violent mission that is combined with the global uprising that you're doing here in Tunisia and everywhere else in the world.
Actuellement, c'est historique, c'est inédit. Il n'y a jamais eu une initiative citoyenne.
This genocide is being enabled and fueled by our governments, our institutions, our companies, our elected officials who are supposed to represent us. End your complicity!
Looking to your right up top, way up top there.
Over the shoulder, over the shoulder. Oh, beautiful. Record the smile. Sabrina, that beautiful. Sabrina, that beautiful smile.
Tyler, right here.
Look it up, look it up. Nice.
To your right.
Gorgeous.
Straight ahead, straight in front of you,
Josie,
Josie,
that
right
beautiful
ahead,
smile.
straight ahead.
And one smile right there, Ricky. Nice, there it is.
And
nice.
right here. Right here.
Over that shoulder, over the shoulder.
Here, right here.
Give me that smile, Ella, looking sharp.
Hello, looking to your left, looking left.
A kiss, Mr. Beast. Oh. Yeah, nice. Thank you.
Siamo degli ex dipendenti.
We are retired, former employees, and it is our duty to come here because it was a great privilege and honor to work for him.
Un grande privilegio e un onore lavorare per lui.
For all of us, he was like a father.
Tutti noi è stato come un papà.
That I can tell you.
My son is employed to him. I worked with him for 26 years. So I've known him a very long time. I admired him, I respected him. And he was just a wonderful person and made beautiful clothes. And so I'm here again to pay my respects to this wonderful man.